1, 2, 3, 4. I got thoughts running through my head. I got thoughts, can't you see? I got thoughts, the books I read. I got thoughts, won't you listen to me?
Meanwhile, checking back in with Bridge, and I want to say that it's kind of funny that as I've gone through writing more of Bridge novels, and this includes the one I just finished that I haven't published yet, I'm actually cutting down the amount of Bridge in the novel. As I started thinking about the concept of the character, he's a fixer. He's a guy who he knows a guy. He'll get you something. He'll hook you up with somebody else. The concept of Bridge being physically hands-on with a lot of his jobs kind of goes against what he is and what he's been trying to do, which is, stay out of the police radar. And so as a result of that, I started thinking that maybe he probably should be less involved, less forward in the books. He really should be setting up these other things. So he's probably in 25 to 50% of the book, and the rest is other characters. Now, he sets a lot of that in motion, but we spend most of the book dealing with people who are not Bridge. We have Farrell a lot. We have Aristotle. We have James Nealon, and then we have Fong and Mal in the Fong Reclamation. I thought, that actually does fit the character better. Is he would not be physically involved in some of these things. Because, again, he's not a violent guy, he's not an action guy, he's a talker, and he's a facilitator. We do get the Bridge parts that set up kind of the connective tissue of all these little pieces together. And it starts with Bridge and Mew, his technomancer bodyguard, chasing after a refuse resist guy who had tagged a wall in the gangland with the refuse resist sign. In the previous Bridge book, The Long and the Short Swords, also available, check the links below, Bridge had discovered that refuse resist was not necessarily causing problems, but could be a future potential problem for the gangland, for the 5 families in the gangland, by undermining their authority. He discovered at the end of the book that most likely Michael Freeman was the one behind the group. Freeman being the hacker god, the guy that you needed a hack. He could probably do it, or he's already done it. He works for one of the largest corporations in the world, Chronosoft, but he also does his own freelance thing. He has a grudge with Bridge. Bridge doesn't know why at this point, but he discovers what he thinks it is the fact that Bridge was responsible for Angela's death, Angela being his girlfriend, who is also a major hacker and who had had some form of relationship with Freeman in the past. Bridge and Mew are chasing this RR, refuse resist guy, and the guy runs into a brothel run by Zhu Xin, one of the leaders of the 5 families, who is the head of the Chinese contingent of Asia Town, which is one of the 5 families in Gangland. The brothel is not just an underage brothel, but a serious pedo brothel. It's like nobody's above the age of 10. All girls from the Chinese mainland don't speak English. Sex slaves, basically. The refuse resist guy blows himself up. It's not just a normal explosion. Mew tells Bridge that was an explosion from a technomancer spell. That was technomancer magic. Bridge is very familiar with that because that was how he killed the assassin who killed Angela, was using some of Mew's technomancer magic. Bridge has a problem. Freeman is coming after him. The guy who blew himself up used a code word, Angela, to cause the explosion, which told Bridge, this is about Angela and Freeman. Now he's got to figure out a way to find Freeman, because Freeman is in the wind. He can't find him at all. Meanwhile, and this dovetails into another one of the short stories that I had already written and finished as a short story. Aristotle trying to get Christmas lights for the gangland. And the problem is the gangland is its own autonomous zone, but it does have an agreement to get power from Chronosoft, the LGL corporation that controls Los Angeles. Their numbers are, as far as energy consumption, are so high, they've actually been supplementing that energy consumption with Technomancer glow bugs. Again, this is all spoilers, and if you haven't read any of the books, this is probably going to make no sense. If you've read the books, then yeah, this makes sense. Stonewall Ricardo tells him that that they don't want Christmas lights in the gangland because it eats into too much power. But if somehow Aristotle can figure out a way to get the extra power, then they can have Christmas lights. Aristotle talks to Bridge and gets a meeting with the Technomancer Council, the Order of Five, ask for a favor. To get the favor, Aristotle must go and help one of the Technomancers retrieve the mana engine that they had given to Freeman, who he had given it to one of his R/R guys, and that guy was losing his mind, was not able to control the power. We get a little glimpse into what's going on with the Technomancers and with the use of the mana engines, as Aristotle and this Technomancer have to go and have a fight with deteriorating refuse resist guy who has the mana engine. I thought it was a pretty good fight. Let's have a good big bold Technomancer fight, and that would be a fun little set piece in the middle of the story. It ends with Aristotle going back to the Technomancers and getting his Christmas lights. And there's some nice moments between Bridge and Aristotle in that. When I do the short stories, I like doing a Christmas story just because I like Christmas. And this happened to be that Christmas story, and I'd have to check, but I think I actually put that out around the time, around Christmas time on the website. So in all this, Bridge discovers that Freeman has the mana engine, and was like, well, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this now. Well, but we also have the problem of this pedophilia, the brothel ring, the sex slavery, that if Chronosoft got word of it, they would shut the gangland down. I mean, half of Chronosoft LGL board anyway doesn't like the deal with that Bridge struck for the gangland, so is looking for any excuse to just tear that place down. That would be a perfect one. So Bridge realizes he's going to have to take care of this. Lo and behold, the Fornasia thing falls in his lap, because Farrell realizes, okay, we've got to rescue these guys from a boat in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and the only guy I know who might be able to put that together is Bridge. And he hates to call Bridge, but call him he does.